Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to All Things Podcast. We are finally back after a month with no content, and today we're welcoming our first guest onto the show. Is it Tennielle?
Yeah, it's to do.
Tennielle? Yep. Welcome to All Things Podcast. It's great to have you here. You're
Great to be.
you're our first interviewee. Um, so it should be good. Tell us a bit about yourself. Like, where you from? What do you enjoy doing? Yeah.
So I'm Tennielle, 17. I've just moved to the Brisbane area from Sydney, and I run a nannying service and am studying childcare.
Nice, that's interesting. So, a nannying service, did you say?
Yes.
So, what do you exactly do on a day-to-day basis with that?
So the day that I am with the clients, kids, and I'm nannying, I would basically be following the kids' routines. So every client is different, but most of the time it's just playing with the kid, watching the kid, making sure it doesn't get into any trouble, and basically help them go take their naps or eat food or do their homework.
And do you go to these kids' houses and help there, or yeah, or
Yes.
yeah?
And so,
How
yeah,
often do you do it? Do you do it like after are you still in school, or have you
no.
graduated? You graduate, so do you do it every day, daily day basis,
I do it, yeah, every couple days
every
a
couple of days?
week,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
Is it? Do you usually have like a group of kids, or just depends on uh how many kids are at the house?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Most
cool.
of the time it's just one or two kids, never any more than that, really.
Yeah, and when did you start this service?
So I originally was in Sydney doing it, but now I've just moved up here to Queensland, so I'm just, getting new clients.
Yeah, cool. What made you start this little business? Like, what inspired you to do it?
Uh, well, my sister, she has a daughter and she's a single mum, so it's a bit hard for her to do everything. So she needed assistance, and there weren't very many nannies around, and it took 2 years for her to get her daughter into a childcare centre because the
Wow,
waiting list was so long.
and you just thought of helping out,
Yeah,
and now you created a little business out of it. That's
yeah,
great. Yeah. Now I might ask you a few questions like your point of view and stuff, and just see where this little interview takes us. But like, do you do you ever feel like you just want to give up on your business and you just feel so drained?
100%,
Yeah, and
100%.
what do you do to like get your mind out of that like mindset?
So I guess like really like it's good for me because when I feel a bit drained, then I go, babysit a kid. They kind of cheer me up because they're amazing, but the days I'm not watching and I feel like giving up, I guess like it's just like spur of the moment decisions. So like if I'm losing clients, I'm just like, you know what, let's advertise my business a bit more and hopefully get more clients and do more stuff that will better my career in,
Yeah,
nannying. So I just did a training course yesterday, and so now I'm CPR certified.
cool. That's really good. And you obviously enjoy doing this. Uh,
hmm
what do you like? What's your future goals for this business? Like, what do you thrive to do?
So realistically, right now, I'm just looking at babysitting, nannying. I'm hoping once I'm fully educated and certified in everything, I'm hoping to apply for a job in cruise lines and be a childcare worker in those kids centers on cruise and travel the world and then
Yeah,
live in nannies in all different countries.
yeah. Wow, that's really cool. And d- do you do you do this one with anybody like, or is it just you?
Just me.
Just you? Yeah. And you said you came from Sydney.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you just moved up to Queensland?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And you started this little business in Sydney, and now obviously moved it up to Brisbane. What do you have you found like a difference in the amount of work you've been getting in Brisbane than Sydney? Like, do you get the same, more or less?
Well, so I'm just starting off, so I haven't got as much
Yeah, yeah,
right now, so I can't really make an accurate, you know, comparison between the two, but it seems more up here. The families are a lot more relaxed than down in Sydney.
yeah. Cool. That's great. Do you have any questions or anything? I don't know. Just trying to get this interview on the road. I don't know.
Yeah, so I know yourself, you run this podcast. What was it like starting it up?
Well, I used to do it with a mate, but it was really fun when I did it with him. I did it with him for like 3 episodes, but at school, like we got a lot of crap for doing it, like people making fun of us, and he like I don't really care what people say, but he got hurt quite a bit by them, and so he quit, and so it's been just me for a while. Um, but no, it was really good. I am enjoying it. It's a shame that my mate left the show because of some kids at school just making a laugh, making a joke out of us for trying to do something with our lives.
Yeah, that's what sucks about high school because when I was
Mm,
doing it in high school, there was a lot of negativity about it,
yeah,
and like it was just such a toxic environment. I mean, I feel as though after leaving school and people knowing about it, adults knowing about it, they're like, that is an amazing thing you're doing, keep going, get better. And you just really can tell between a child's mindset and an adult's mindset. It's
yeah,
so different.
yeah, it is. And like, I do have a few people at school that, say good on me for doing it, but most of the time it's just these kids that make a joke out of it. And one day I hope they realize that they probably shouldn't have been doing that because when they get their life underway and they start doing stuff, they'll realize that they should have started it earlier. And it's always beneficial starting things earlier and trying new things.
100%. And in high school, there aren't that many motivated kids
No,
to do stuff
yeah,
like this.
yeah, no, and it is a shame about that, but that's the way the world is right now. And yeah, but um it is good to see uh young people like ourselves making a name for ourselves, starting something new, trying something new, taking risks and challenges. And it's just a shame that some people think it's too cool to do that, or they don't want to put in work, they're too lazy.
Yeah. And that's the sad thing about our generation is there aren't many kids that are willing to put in hard work.
Yeah, no. It is a shame, and one day they will realize when they get their life underway that you can't just be sitting around your whole life. But no, um, yeah, I've been doing this podcast for like 7 or 8 months, 6, 7, 8 months. And it's been a fun journey so far. I've got a lot of help from people. And yeah, um, I'm happy to have you as my first person on the show to interview. It's been great. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's good. So, what direction are you heading towards with all
well,
of this?
my whole goal is to become like a film director, be in film, like film production. And so I just thought, if I start a podcast, maybe I could create a name for myself, just get myself rolling on like the multimedia industry.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, with my, I like media as well myself. Like, I especially like writing, so I've written um, a few short films.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if Robbie told you that.
No, he did
Um,
not.
yeah, so I've created a few film scripts, but they're mainly about mental health and struggles that come with it. And like, that's another thing that's so bad about our
Yeah,
generation is mental health is just getting rapidly worse
Yeah,
and
I
worse.
totally agree. Robbie did tell me that like you would love to create like video productions of talking about mental health and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's like a little thing that I want to do. Like, I don't want to do it as a career path, but I would really love it just to like have a few well-known little short films on YouTube that people can look at and be like, oh,
Yeah,
it's just not me dealing with this. It's a
yeah,
normal thing.
yeah, exactly. That's good. Good on you for doing that. That's really good. Yeah, and with like writing scripts and stuff, I write long short film scripts all the time just for no reason, and they're just stored away in a folder on my computer. And yeah, I don't know. I just
That's the
enjoy.
exact
Yeah,
same.
I don't know. I enjoy writing scripts about random stuff. You know, expanding my creativity, and yeah.
100%.
But no, that's good
I
that
feel like, yeah,
you want to like speak up about mental health because a lot of people are ashamed to talk about it or too scared and feel like
yeah, 100%. Like, I immediately went through a really dark phase. I was depressed and tried to a couple times.
mm,
And it was just really difficult for me, but like in the end, like I got through it and it was just like it was so bad because I got made ashamed for suffering with it,
mm,
even though the people that were shaming me for suffering with it now have deal with it. And I'm
yeah,
just like, don't put others down because of something that they cannot control, just like you can't control it with yourself.
yeah, exactly. And that happens to a lot of people. You know, they laugh at people with these issues and they just make a joke out of them, and then they um get issues themselves, and then yeah, like I don't want anybody to have those issues, but if they do put people down because of it and then they get it, I hope then they do realize that they shouldn't have been, making a joke out of it, stuff like that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean the only way they'll learn
exactly.
is by experience, not just if it's not experience with themselves, it's experience with someone that's really close to them, and they realize they really shouldn't make fun of people that suffer with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, it helps change their mentality and lead them on a better course in life.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just like our generation, they feel too like too cool to get their life underway, to try something new, to do something. Instead, they're just mucking around in school.
Yeah,
It's a shame, but they will realize one day that you have to do something with your life. You can't just sit around all day and do nothing.
I mean, admittedly, I was like one of those kids that was always mucking around. I was the class clown,
Mm,
but like that was in my depression stage where I was just feeling the need to create this persona that I was a strong, goofy person, which in reality I really wasn't.
yeah, exactly. And a lot of people that are smiling and laughing are really just putting that in front of their real face, and like really they're suffering inside and they just don't want people to know. And yeah, it's sad to think about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, yeah, kids like at school make fun about me doing podcasts and stuff like that, but I honestly don't really care anymore. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but now I don't care. But I just feel like so bad for my mate who I used to do the podcast with. Like, people be annoying to him all the time about it, and like he's never really dealt with that as with me. I've dealt with it a lot. Like since high school, people have gave me crap for so much stupid stuff. But yeah, it's a shame that he left the show because of some kids, destroying his
Oh yeah.
dreams.
I mean, I reckon like in a couple. soon enough, hopefully in the next couple of years, especially once he leaves high school, he'll realize that he shouldn't have let those
Yeah,
words affect him because he realized that those kids are just plain and stupid, that they don't realize that words affect them, and they don't realize that doing something that they like, something that they can create a career out of, isn't a bad thing.
yeah, exactly. And you know, everybody has to try something to, find their true career pathway and career. Um, you can't just one day wake up and then think you're the best even though you haven't tried anything. Like everybody's gonna fail at lots of things. Like you're not automatically gonna be the best. Like even professional, like really great athletes. Like yeah, there some people are naturally good at sports, but they still train every day to be better. And you know, it's just like that with a job. You can't wake up one day and just be like the best, whatever.
And you can't just like think that with a job, like especially just a job where you just file paperwork, that they're automatically going to be able to do it and they won't have to do anything else apart from sit and fill it out. They actually will have to do meetings, talk to other people, and if they're just sitting around just flying it instead of actually trying to do better and impress their bosses, people have come after them and realize they need to put in hard work, will
Mm.
excel before them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just about climbing the ladder, putting in hard work, and then one day it will pay off. It will. If you put in hard work, dedicated hours, you do your thing, it will eventually pay off, and you'll be able to live your life. You know, it's just about putting in the work, and some people are too lazy, which is a shame. But nobody can just be the greatest. Everybody puts in work to be where they are. Like, yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. So
yeah, like
sorry.
that's good. Like the best entrepreneur is like Elon Musk. He started out of nowhere. He climbs the ladder. He's still climbing the ladder. Yeah, he's at the top, but he still tries to do things to improve himself, to improve the world, to improve his peers, and that's what I look up to. Like, just never stop trying to improve yourself and improve others around you.
See, like you look at brands like Apple here, even though they're a very well-known brand, they still have to bring out new stuff all the
Yeah,
time to, be better because like honestly, Apple isn't as great as it used to be.
yeah.
It's just basically all about looks. It looks really good, but the technology isn't as good as now Samsung. Samsung's getting
Mm.
up there
Yeah,
because they
exactly.
put
And
in more hard work.
yeah, because Apple, they they were the best. They're at the top, and then they like slowed down, and now it's uh chasing them back. Like Samsung, they're a top competitor with Apple now, and Apple probably do regret slowing down with everything. Um, when they were at the top, because you can't stay at the top forever. You got to keep putting in hard work, regardless of what you do or what you are. Or yeah,
And that's the fault that they made with their business is not trying to better their technology.
exactly, yeah. And it's just about growing, getting better. Like you can never be the best. There's always a stage above that, a stage above that, a stage above that one, a stage above, and it just keeps going. You can always improve yourself, get better. Like yeah, Albert Einstein, smartest man to live. He still, even though he was the smartest man and came up with so many theories and created so much stuff, invented so many things, he still expanded in his mindset. He still mm, got
Actually,
better at
that
things
that's
and
one of the misconceptions about Albert Einstein. His IQ is actually one of the lower
yeah,
ratings on the smartest people ratings, but yet he was able to push himself to create something
Mm,
with the help of another person,
yeah,
but instead of hiding away, being ashamed for creating that, it was like, you know what, stuff that I'm gonna risk getting persecuted or whatever. And he created and showed people how this worked,
yeah,
his invention worked.
exactly. Like, you don't have to be the smartest person to come up with the greatest theories to invent things that change the way of the future. You don't have to like be the
You just have
smartest
to
thing.
have that courage.
Exactly, and that mindset that you are able to do it, the courage to do it, the belief that you'll be able to do it, peers around you helping, having a mentor, stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and yeah, no, um, no one can ever be the greatest sportsman, film director, podcaster, anything. It can never be the best at their job. You can always get better no matter what. And see, that's the thing. People think they've done too much, and then they just stop doing it, and then their life falls back down. And like, yeah, when you get old, you look back on your life, and that's great, yeah. But like people, like young people who you know, they do a few years of work and like, oh, I'm so tired. I've done so much of this. I think I've done enough. I'm just gonna live my life now.
100%. Like, you can't just put in a lot of work for a short amount of time and expect everything to stay the same or get
Yeah,
better. You need to keep putting that effort in. You need to keep working hard
yeah,
to actually stay where you are or even get better
yeah,
if
like,
or get higher than where you were.
yeah, and giving 110% with everything and anything you do.
Yeah, you
Um,
can't just give 100% of the effort only 10% of the time. You have to
exactly.
get 100% of the effort
Yeah,
100% of the time.
yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, it's it's a shame that people can easily throw their lives away nowadays. Like it's never been easier to throw your life away, but it's also never been easier to be successful. Like with the growth of technology in the past decade, starting a business has never really been easier. Like yes, it's still hard and there's lots of dedicated hours you got to put in, but you have the tools right in front of you. Why not give it a chance? Why not take a risk? Because you don't know where it could take you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. And
I mean, a lot of people complain that their jobs are really boring and they don't want to do it.
yeah,
That's perfectly fine. If you don't want to do it, do something that you do want to do.
exactly. That's
You can always change careers. You don't have to be set into one career
yeah,
your whole life.
exactly. Like I say that all the time to like people say, "Oh, I hate my job," or I hate going to work, hate waking up to go to work." Find another career, do something you want to do instead of sitting around doing a
Complaining.
job someone else could do and complaining. Yeah, like everybody has something they would love to do, and why not do it? If you're sick of the job you have, find a new career. It's never too late to start, never too early.
100%.
Yeah, and like some bless you, some
Thank
people,
you.
they think, oh, they've already started with a career that now they have to continue with that. They can't start a new career because they're too old or something. That's not the case. That's never the case. You can start anything at any age. Um, and
Well, my dad is a perfect example. He's 55 and yet he's gone from a machine mechanic, machine operator to a traffic controller.
yeah,
So that's a completely different career. So one's an indoor industrial company, and now he's going into construction. It's
yeah,
two completely different things.
exactly. Like you can basically do anything with your life if you put your mind to it. If you are dedicated to it, and if you actually enjoy doing it and actually want to do it.
Yeah, it's bad for our generation to have this mindset, whereas, oh, it's easy to get a job. I'll deal with it later. I'll get a job later. I don't care what job. I'll just do a Macca's job. Like, no,
Yeah,
better yourself.
yeah, exactly. Like I my first job was at McDonald's, and I just got a job at McDonald's for the sake of getting a job, for experience and whatever. And then after a few months, it's not the greatest job, like, I'll be honest. And so then I took the extra step to actually look for another job, and now I work at the cinemas, and that's something I actually enjoy doing. I have a great team there, and it's related to the career pathway I actually want to take.
I see. I started working when I was 12 in a cafe of a family friend. Then I moved from the, I was at that cafe for years. Sadly, the owner, the original owner, sold the business to another person, and he was very toxic. And I was just like,
Mm,
no, I'm not doing this anymore.
yeah,
And so I left.
and that's one of the worst things, is when your management is really toxic, and they don't care about their employees. Like, having a strong connection and relationship with your head management is very important, because it
Yeah.
keeps the job fun, it keeps it healthy, and it keeps you wanting to go to work instead
Well,
of.
see, I was actually able to deal with that toxic manager for like 2 years. But it's just like you look at how he acts, and it made me
Mm,
feel bad inside because he was a very bad person. He was cheating on his wife, and his wife was the sweetest lady ever. And he would cheat on her with multiple of my co-workers, and they were only just 18 and 19. I was just like, why are you doing that? Like, why would you be with such a
mm,
vulgar person?
yeah,
Then I realized he was paying them to sleep with him, and
mm,
it was a horrible sight. So I had to leave for my sanity.
yeah. That's one of the worst things. You know, yeah, it's sad as well. Like, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, back to the topic of people thinking they're too old to change careers or something. You never are. That's the truth. You can literally be 60 years old and go into your dream career and still live a great
Yeah,
life after that. Like, you're never too old, never too young to start anything.
100%.
Yeah, and yeah. Um, have you
Sorry.
that's so good. Have you watched any films or anything lately?
So I'm not really much of a film person, but like I love reading a good book.
Oh yeah,
The only time I really watch films is when my sister, my best friend, wants me to watch something, and it's usually a romance movie.
oh yeah,
I love making fun of how corny and predictable they are.
yeah. Um, yeah, romance. I never watch at all. Um,
Yeah, I think the latest one, because we were on Zoom together, because she still lives in Sydney. We were on Zoom together watching it, and I was just like, he's gonna ride down the street on a horse to come get her.
and it
Next second,
happened.
ride
Yeah,
down on a horse.
yeah. They're so predictable, and
So
that's like,
predictable.
yeah. Um, myself, I'm a fan of, like, sci-fi, horror, action. A bit of comedy.
Oh yeah,
Everybody loves comedy, but horror,
yeah.
horror can be very, very predictable. But
Oh, horror is very predictable, but it's always
it,
good. Like the
yeah,
screaming is
yeah,
funny,
exactly.
and the
Sometimes,
stupidity of characters as
yeah,
well.
sometimes I actually am thankful that it's predictable. Otherwise, I'll be too scared to watch it. Because shedding an imagination of the characters is really what makes you enjoy it. And yeah, that's the thing about horror. I just like how it's predictable, because otherwise I couldn't watch it. get too scared, I swear. Especially like at night
Yeah.
by myself. I usually watch horror with mates. Barely watch it alone. I do sometimes, but barely.
Oh. Sometimes when I watch horror movies, I purposely watch them at like midnight by myself in my room just to scare
Mm,
myself.
yeah, I couldn't do that. Like sometimes I start watching a horror and then I stop. But when I'm with mates, I I always watch horrors. I don't know. It's much more fun with mates. Obviously, you both just sitting there scared. Um, you
And
know,
then you're
and then
scaring each other
yeah,
throughout the film.
yeah, and then like after the film, if it's late at night, you can continue that. Uh, you can scare them. Say you're like watching The Conjuring or something. You could find a doll or could think there's something in the corner of your room or something. I don't know, but everybody gets scared at like 2 o'clock in the morning because of that stuff. Regardless,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, it's always good.
yeah, no, it is. Um,
Sorry, I'm so yawny. I started work this morning at like 6 and I had my brother's 21st last night, so I'm a bit
uh,
haven't had a good sleep.
yeah, no, I today was my first sleep in since like since a while because yesterday I'd work early in the morning, then obviously Monday to Friday school, and last weekend I had work in the morning, and tomorrow I've got work in the morning, so today was my only real good sleep in.
Oh, well, at least lucky we didn't do this earlier then.
Yeah,
Lucky
uh,
I had a client.
yeah, yeah, very lucky. I thought I'd have to wake up earlier, but yeah, I got work late tonight, so I get home later
Yeah.
tonight, and then I gotta wake up again early tomorrow to go to work. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Those public holiday rates would be so good.
yeah, public holiday rates are very good. Yeah, 3 Mondays in a row now. Public holidays next Monday. I worked last Monday, working this Monday, and working next Monday. But it gets tiring. But it's worth it in the end, I guess.
Queensland has so many public holidays,
Yeah, I
many
know.
more public holidays than Sydney.
Do they? Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I think we only had like two public holidays this past couple of weeks, whereas Queensland has had three.
Wow. Yeah. That's a good thing though. Public holidays are so good. Um.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. An extra day at home, or double pay, whatever.
exactly.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. It's been a good interview. Thank you for coming on to today's show.
That's
First,
all right.
first person I've interviewed. Uh, and could come back on any other time you want. You're welcome back. And yeah, today was a good show. 30, 33 minutes now. Um, my podcasts are usually 15 to 30 minutes. And I like it when I do longer episodes, but um, a lot of people say short is better. A lot of people say long is better. I don't know, but I like doing longer episodes, not hours long. Because, like, that's so much to talk about. And, with a group of people, an hour long show is great. But either by yourself or just doing a one-on-one interview, not much to talk
Yeah,
about for
I feel like
hours upon hours.
I feel like a three-person interview is really good because we're
Mm,
able to bouncing off each other.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, one to ones, back and forth just to people.
Yes.
But no, it's been a really good interview. Thank you for coming on to the show. It's good talking with you, talking about many different things. Uh, and yeah, if you wanna shout out anything, your business, go ahead.
I think that will be all right for now.
Okay, cool.
Let's hope that the people that are listening to this, will be listening to this, hopefully get a bit encouraged to, help out their career or even just be able to talk
Mm,
about mental health because I
yeah,
feel like they don't.
exactly. Like
Uh,
that's my whole goal to inspire people to do better things, to start their life, to find their dream career, inspire them to do something. Like myself being young, a lot of people my age, I'll be honest, don't really do what I'm doing, and I just want to inspire people to do what I'm doing.
Yeah. And you know, you
Yeah,
just gotta be like, I'll learn when they learn. We just gotta, you know, not let them distract us or anything, and we
yeah,
just gotta do
exactly.
good.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, thank you for coming on to the show today. Um, it
Oh,
was
good.
a good experience, learn a lot, and hopefully people who have listened to this have been inspired in some way to do something to improve your life, to improve the lives of your peers or something. But that's my whole goal. And yeah, thank you.
Oh, good. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.